Welcome to Toyota Australia. Please listen to each option carefully and choose the option that best suits your needs. Your local Toyota dealership is the one to speak to when it comes to service.
One eternity later.
Oh, g'day Toyota. Wondering if you can answer a few questions for me about my Prado. You can? That's great. What I want to know is, what's my roof capacity? Can you help me with that? You can? Fantastic! G'day campers, welcome back to 1010 Adventures. And if you're new here, welcome. Hopefully the link of today's title has brought you in. Yes, we are going to be talking about the roof capacity for the Toyota Prado 150. And for those of you that own one, if you've been trying to find online what your actual roof capacity is, yes, I have the answer directly from Toyota. But it may not be what you want. So before I kick off into roof capacities and roof loads, as you can probably see from the car behind me, we've upgraded again. We've now got a Rhino-Rack Pioneer. Want to give a huge shout out to the guys down at Roof Rack Superstore in Epping, in sort of north of Melbourne. Cam and Phil did an amazing job putting this on for me. This isn't a sponsored video by any stretch. Paid retail price, but the guys did an amazing job. Really looked after us. I've spoken to them a couple of times since. They are a wealth of information. If you are looking at getting a roof rack installed, definitely recommend you head down to Roof Rack Superstore in Epping. They'll really look after you. Have a chat to Cam or Phil. They are just really top blokes. But more on the rack. So Pioneer rack, we've got on there at the moment. You can probably see in the shot, and I'll give a top view in a second, but you can see that we've got a high lift jack, I've got a shovel, I've got a twin set of Max Tracks, and all told, including the weight of the rack, I reckon I've got roughly 60 kilograms of weight already on the roof. When we throw on an awning on the other side, which we're looking at in the near future, that's going to be another 19 to 26 kilos, depending on which awning we go for. Now that doesn't leave a lot of room. Probably the first thing a lot of people are wondering about as well is we've gone a Rhino rack, and there's a lot of stuff, particularly after some incidents involving Ronnie Dahl and a couple of other YouTubers, where they didn't account for a loss in weight or load capacity when travelling off-road. With the Prado being a wagon and running the backbone rails, you don't have a degrade in roof capacity off-road. So that's verified by Rhino. That's not just me saying that. That's actually, if you check out their website and crunch the numbers, it actually states very clearly, with the backbone system on the Prado, you do not get an off-road reduction in payload capacity. So that's great, but what's my payload? So as I said earlier, if you've got a Prado and you've been trying to work out what your payload is, you've been trawling the internet, trawling out there trying to find out what it is, and probably come up, as most of us have, with absolutely nothing. There doesn't seem to be any official load capacity on the Prado for its roof. So I had my first 10,000k service a couple of weeks ago. I spoke to the guys at Toyota. Would you believe they didn't have an answer for me? So the service department, the sales department, nobody had an answer for me as to what the roof capacity was. So I went to Toyota direct. So I spent, I think, probably an hour and a half on hold waiting to speak to somebody at Toyota. And I do have Toyota's official response to the load capacity of the Prado. It is, we don't know. Toyota will not give a load capacity rating for the Prado. Whether that's in response to some of the issues that we've seen lately with, as I mentioned, Ronnie Dahl and some of the other YouTubers having roof racks fall off their cars because they were overloaded, or something a little bit different at play, I don't know. But Toyota's official answer was, we don't recommend putting anything on the roof of your car. If you use our factory rails, which are just the cross beams that click onto, that attach to the normal rails, if you use those, you can put 80 kilograms on your roof, but you will have a load reduction because those will flex and bend and potentially break. So what about aftermarket, like the Rhino behind me? What about those? Toyota's official response is whatever the roof rack manufacturer says is the capacity. So if Rhino say that the capacity of this platform on a Prado is 120 kilograms, that's your load capacity. Unfortunately, when you go to the Rhino website, they don't have an answer either. They will say that this can effectively carry up to 120 or 150 kilograms. I'll put a screenshot of the web link here. That weight, as you will see very clearly, states only if it meets the capacity of the roof. You must meet your vehicle manufacturer's, you must be under your vehicle manufacturer's maximum roof load capacity. So, I'm sorry I haven't really given anybody a huge or correct answer here, but Toyota will not provide anyone with a load capacity for their cars anymore. They may have done once upon a time, but now they will not do it. I guess from that point, Toyota, you really need to lift your game, because I can see a lot of people going, well, if I can't get an answer, I'm potentially going to void my warranty by putting a roof rack on, or I'm going to risk my insurance because I can't prove definitively that the roof rack was within load and within weights. So I can see a lot of people starting to move over to, dare I say it, Nissan Patrols and oh God help us, Ford Rangers or the Ford Everests. At least you can get information on those. This, we can't. So yeah, Toyota, lift your game. It's really not acceptable. You're charging your users $87,000 for a VX, and you can't tell me what the weight I can put on my roof is, other than, if it's within your roof rack manufacturer specs, it's okay. That's called passing the buck, and from a consumer perspective, I don't think that's acceptable. Put in a comment below what you think about this, and whether you think Toyota should lift their game. I certainly think they should, but we'd be really keen to hear from what your opinions are. As anybody who's commented on any of my videos in the past, you will see I do try to respond to everybody's video. Sometimes I get caught up with work and other things. That's why there's so many gaps between videos at the moment. We're working full time. I've got to pay for this somehow. So it's a little bit of a challenge trying to get the videos out in a timely manner, but this is Easter weekend. This will be coming out next weekend for the Anzac Day weekend. So I'll hopefully have that live in a couple of days for you. Look, hopefully Toyota do come to the party on this, but we'll see what happens. As I said, comment below, like, subscribe if you're interested in seeing more content. Right now I've got a slow cooked pulled pork on our fire pit, following the same recipe from an earlier video that nobody watched, but that's okay. If you are interested in what the pulled pork looks like, have a check it out. I'll put a link here for you. Other than that, thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.